Okay, let me cut the music. Let me explain what I just fucking did. Let me tell you with a straight face what I have just done. I literally just streamed for like 15 minutes. I was wondering why no one was talking in chat. I was reading the whole thing. I was talking about. I was like, what's happening? Why is nobody talking? I finished the stream and I realized that the whole time I was in a test mode. I wasn't even fucking streaming. Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. I can't. I am just, oh my, no, you can't make this shit up. I checked back. I went to my Twitch. I went to the video producer because you can look back at your VODs and stuff. I was like, where's the VOD? Where's the VOD? And then I was like, no. Surely I was streaming, right? And I'm like, no, I remember hitting stream, not record. And then it dawned on me, oh fuck, I was probably in test mode. And I was in test mode the whole time. The whole time I was talking, I was in test mode. And I am, oh my god, bro. I'm fucking depressed, man. Sorry, thanks for the 10 months. I am, oh my god, I'm fucking defeated, bro. I am so defeated. I'm lost, bro. Okay, so fake my reaction. I'm not gonna do that, but there's some things to talk about. So they're making some huge changes to the game. I was expecting way less than this. This is kind of insane. So what they're doing is when all of the survivors are dead, dying hooked, or have escaped, you become the last standing. So both your and the killer's senses are heightened, granting you a wider field of view. So you get extra FOV as both survivor and killer. So basically like Shadowborn base kit at the very end of the game. Rescuing a survivor will end the last standing phase, but being downed as the final survivor, on the other hand, will trigger the finishing Mori. When the last survivor is downed, the trial will draw to a climactic end, and both the survivor and the killer will be moved to a preset point on the map, free of any obstructions that may get in the way, and the killer's Mori animation will begin. Any survivor still in the trial will be killed by the entity and treated like a sacrifice. So this part we know and understand. But this is huge, absolutely huge. They gave every survivor base kit Unbreakable in a slightly weaker state. It takes 45 seconds to raise yourself instead of 32. But every survivor now has perma Unbreakable and can pick themselves up. It is impossible to slug en masse. It's just not possible. You can't do it. This is a fucking huge nerf to killer, specifically top tier killers. Blight, Nurse, hell, even Oni, who isn't even that good anymore. But Oni, because his whole power relies on slugging, you can't do that. Twins as well. Yeah, twins are fucked. Absolutely destroy. So this removes a lot of pressure. But this is interesting though. This is very interesting. Then they did some perk updates. So because you can just recover yourself in base kit, the text of Unbreakable, Sogar, No Mither, and Exponential has been removed. So basically now the perks just grant bonuses in addition to you being able to pick yourself up. And the ability of Mori survivors is removed from Rancor and Devour Hope, as it's now part of the base kit. So how some of these perks will work now. So Unbreakable just increases your self-recovery speed by 100%. So it's the same as Exponential. You literally just pick yourself up in 22.5 seconds instead of 45, I believe. if the math I did on that earlier is correct. With Rancor, which was always a terrible perk, it's even worse now because you can't kill the obsession. How it works now is when the executes are powered, the obsession is revealed to you, and then they're just always inflicted with exposed. So it's way less scary. Devour Hope is still kind of epic. So once you get 5 tokens, any survivor that's on a hook is just instantly killed, regardless of their hook state. I'm not sure if this works. Like if someone is on a hook already and you get 5 tokens, I don't know if they just automatically die, but that's still pretty good. Rancor is always going to be bad. Unbreakable is now even better. They did some Mori changes here. So the Cypress, Ivory, and Ebony Moris now grant bonus blood points if you get a certain amount of kills and then finish the game in a Mori. So basically, you get 8,000 points if you kill 2 survivors, and then the last survivor killed is a Mori. You get 12,000 points if 3 survivors are killed and the last survivor is a Mori. And either you get 20,000 blood points if the last survivor, or if all 4 survivors are killed, then the last survivor is killed with a Mori. Which is, yeah, it's not better than like a pudding or party streamers or anything, but it's enough, I think, to kind of matter. And yeah, so the finishing Mori system, anti-slugging mechanic, and other changes in this post will be available for testing during the next PTB, but none of the features will actually be a part of the update. So none of what we've read here is coming in this mid chapter. It's going to be in a later post. So this is going to be like an update away, 2 updates away, something like that. But we'll be able to test this all next week. This is huge, bro. This is like the size of these changes could have an impact similar to 6.1, which is fucking insane to think about because we just had 6.1. Now we're going to have another update very, very soon that will shake up things even more. But you can't slug anymore. It's just not going to be possible. So, like, for example, in a situation like you down a survivor and then some other guy's like right in front of you and he's injured and you chase him for a bit and you down him, that first survivor that you downed like 30 seconds ago is going to pick themselves up. You can't slug anymore. It's not possible to slug for pressure, which is insane. Twins players, Pixel Bush is currently fucking shaking and crying. Nurse players, honestly, I don't give a fuck. Nurse needs a nerf. So this is very clearly targeting top tier killers who can slug en masse and kind of get away with it. So this is insane. I don't see the whole point of like the increased FOV. Like, where is it? Where is it? Yeah. Why are we doing this? Why can't we just add an FOV slider, bro? It's literally just like, it takes like 1 day to implement. I swear to God, it's not hard. But sure. So when everyone's on the floor except for 1 survivor, both the killer and the survivor get increased FOV. I'm assuming like other FOV increases in the game, it just doesn't stack. So if you have Shadowborn, it probably won't do anything. If you're in Legion's Frenzy, it won't do anything. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of interesting. I'm excited. Not the update that I thought we would get, but I mean, hey, sure. Interesting to read and to learn about. This is gonna definitely change the way people play. Definitely gonna change the way that people play. So yeah, Unbreakable's infinite. And it takes 45 seconds to pick yourself up. And if you use the perk Unbreakable, you pick yourself up in 22.5 seconds. So yeah, I mean, I don't slug too much either, but there are situations where I have to leave a survivor on the ground, and I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. So this is very interesting. I will see. You know, I'm willing to see how this plays out. Exponential is also now like less insane technically because everyone can pick themselves up anyway. So Exponential now is literally just like unbreakable for everyone. Yeah, it's cool. I think that's all I really have to say. Is there anything you guys have any like weird like fears about or anything? Because I'm pretty much a broken record at this point. There's not a whole lot to really talk about anymore. Kind of went through it, but ring drawing. That's the one where you get the condemn stack every time you pick someone up or heal them, right? Do you get stacks when someone recovers themselves? Or does it have to be when someone heals someone else? No? I don't see how it's broken then. Because if you're recovering yourself, like that's not going to change anything, right? It's only on heal? Yeah, I mean that's a good point, Grim. I mean, literally, like all it takes is one unbreakable to completely reset a game, and now every survivor has perma unbreakable. It never goes away. So I mean, that's kind of fucking insane. Like, I mean, we haven't even played it, right, Destro? We can't say that they fucked it up or anything. That's not really fair to them. I mean, flip-flop's always been bad. It needs a buff. It needs to be just 1-to-1 conversion. Who's asking for this? I mean, that is a good question. Like when it came to the base kit Mori, like everyone was wanting Moris to be changed. I thought we were just gonna get kind of just this, basically. But then they went ahead and they added the Mori feature to like the very end of the game. But they said here, like, if to prevent abuse of the system and like basically slugging 4 survivors at the start of the game and then just instantly mooring someone, they had to add like perma unbreakable. And some I will point this out from a survivor. There's been so many times when there's just been a shithead killer who just refuses to hook you, and they just like slug you, and you're on the ground until you bleed out. You can't bleed out anymore basically because you'll just pick yourself up after 45 seconds. So to that one pig player a year ago who slugged my ass on Badham and refused to hook me the whole game, fuck you. I can just pick myself up and go do a gen. So I think this is definitely to make Survivor feel less shitty. Because there's a lot of situations where a killer will be a dickhead. And they're not even doing it for pressure. They're just doing it to be a bitch. Where this will help. Because like people have been asking like, oh, just please let me like literally concede. Let me kill myself on the floor so I don't have to sit here for 3 minutes. So I feel like that's partly why this is here. But it's, yeah, I mean, this is a buff to solo queue to an extent, because now everyone, you know that, okay, if the survivor's been slugged for a while, I don't have to run over there and pick them up because they have Unbreakable. Like you have that subconscious, just, you know that, oh, I don't have to waste my time running over here. Like they're gonna be fine. Soulguard buff, yeah, Soulguard's better now because you no longer need to be cursed to pick yourself up. It just works. So every time you pick yourself up now with Soulguard, you get 8 seconds of endurance, which is pretty fucking epic. I loved using Soulguard like a year ago, 2 years ago, so that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, exactly. This is literally a in development, not ready, probably abusable, broken system that they're testing. So, like, I want to make this clear. This is not coming in the next update. Everything that is in this post is not in the next update. It's not in the mid chapter. This is literally like months from now. But they wanted to show us what they're working on so that we could, get an idea of what's happening, and then it will be in the PTB, which is actually surprising. So a long time ago, really old DBD players, like from 2018, 2019, will remember this. But Behavior would do like spontaneous PTBs where they would just test random shit. And they would like update the PTB to like make changes. Like PTBs were way more like for testing than they are like recently. Like nowadays PTBs are more or less just like, oh, a beta preview of the feature that's coming in like 2 weeks. But this seems like they're going back to kind of the roots of PTBs, at least for this upcoming PTB, so that you can actually see experimental in development features that aren't even ready. Try before you buy? Yeah, literally. It's like it's like an open beta, effectively. Yeah, exponential. Where is it? Yeah, exponential as well as Unbreakable. They're the same. So what they do is they literally just increase your recovery speed. So Unbreakable increases your recovery speed by 100%, and exponential increases by 100% as well in the radius. So wait a minute. You could stack it probably, right? Yeah. Like that's my question now: is can you actually stack Unbreakable with exponential? It's probably not like as insane of a number. It's probably like diminishing returns. Like it wouldn't be like 200%. It would be like 100% of the 100%. Like you go from 20 to 15 seconds. Grim did the math. Yeah, it's not like you're gonna pick yourself up in like 8 seconds. It's not. It gets less effective the higher you stack it. Yeah, I mean that would be that's strong, but here's my my 2 Canadian cents on that is that when any perk or even killer first appears on a PTB or is even announced, everyone immediately says this is broken or this is fucking stupid, like this is like terrible, it's OP, it's too weak. When it's literally not even on the live server. Like there's always that knee-jerk reaction for anything that Behavior does. So before I say that's OP or that's stupid, I'm willing to just play with it and see how it performs on a live server. The PTB sucks when it comes to like judging changes because quite frankly there's no matchmaking. There's no skill-based matchmaking, so you just get paired up with potatoes who literally have like 7 hours in the game. And then they run in a straight line and they go down. So, and everyone's trying to abuse the new feature. Like everyone's stacking like the same perks because they want to try and like see if they can break the system. But no one will actually play like that on the live server because it says, why the fuck would you waste like 2 or 3 perks for one thing when the killer could just pick you up and hook you, you know? Yeah, Grim, I don't like that either. I mean, first of all, it just sounds weird. Like, why are we just suddenly increasing the field of view in a very specific situation? But also, like, add an FOV slider, you know? Like people have been asking for an FOV slider for years. And Behavior's excuses, well, it would affect game balance. It's like, bro, just add it. It's not a game balance issue, it's an accessibility issue. Like high FOV for some people is required, while other people will get motion sick from it, right? So you can't just leave them. I mean, yeah, but the thing with flashlight bully squads is no one's doing gens, right? They're all just hugging you. They all want the save. They just want to. They just want points. They just want to fuck with you basically. So no one's doing gens. Like I often win against like the bully squad, if you will, because they're not playing the game. They're literally just hugging you. They're running around you. They're never actually like doing the objective. Cyber Squad got buffed. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of good because sabotage is like a relatively useless mechanic in the game. Like, how many times have you been wiggling as a survivor? The survivor sabotages a hook in front of the killer, and then the killer just drops you, and the killer leaves you there for like 30 seconds. The hook comes back, killer picks you up, and then you get hooked. Like, Sabo is like kind of shit. So yeah, see, well, you're gonna have pressure situations like that, Pappy. Like I mentioned this earlier. This is huge. It's a huge change because it makes it so that you can't build up pressure in the typical way that killers would do it. Like you can't slug a person, then chase another survivor, and then down that survivor, and then hook that survivor. Because the survivor on the ground doesn't need to be picked up by anyone; they could just pick themselves up. So you still have two survivors on gens. Because before you would have at least one of the survivors leave a gen to get the res on the survivor who's downed. So with base kit Unbreakable now, yeah, it's no longer possible. You can't slug for pressure. So hey Naya, what's up? What do you think about these changes? Because I think you play more Survivor than a lot of other people that I've seen, right? You play mostly Survivor and then like a handful of Billy games here and there. So my initial thoughts on base kit Unbreakable is that's a huge nerf to killer, but I immediately recognize like, oh, that's gonna make Survivor feel a lot better to play. Because you're gonna have those edge cases now that will no longer be in the game. Like you're not gonna have a shithead pig player who slugs you on bad ham for 3 minutes because you could just pick yourself up. Hey Loki, how are you doing? Let it go, Tat. I'm not letting go of that pig player, bro. They had no reason to do it. I didn't do shit to them. Because a year ago, I'm still mad. Knockout? Ah, no. No. I mean, think about it. Like, okay, like knockout slows your recovery speed for a little while, and then it dazes the survivor. Like, why would you pick knockout over literally any other perk? This is amazing. Yeah, like see that's the kind of like view that I have on this as well. Is it sucks for killer, but it's gonna make survivor feel a lot better to play. Director's cut. Interesting to go against. Too much against it, but because I don't select survivors more than 30 seconds. So yeah. I mean, like it depends a lot on how you play the game, right? And like what you do as a killer. Like a lot of killers will just like not slug. They'll just down a survivor, pick them up, take them to a hook. Like most killers will slug only when they really need to. Like, oh, you down a survivor, and oh, another survivor ran right in front of you. Like you may as well chase them. Or, oh, survivor saboed a hook that you were going to and you can't make it to another hook, you may as well drop the survivor, right? And slug. But in those few situations now, you won't be able to slug because the survivor will pick themselves up. But this is interesting. Yeah, I mean, Xeno, like, exactly. Like, this is going to change the way that people play the game. And that's always good. Just to kind of mix things up. Like people have been asking for this for ages. Is like, oh, let's make some crazy game changes. Let's change perks. Let's change the base game. Let's make people play the game different, like every other patch, just to keep things interesting. Maybe one patch you do something fucking wild, and you make some perk OP, and then the next patch you make a really OP perk terrible, and just to like see how that plays. This is cool. because it changes the game. It's not the same game every year, right? Tenacity? Oh. See, that's a good point. This tenacity will be better now because well, it has a use. Because you can crawl while recovering. Tenacity actually might be a perk that people bring. That tenacity seems like a perk. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's very exciting. It's very exciting. I I wonder there's probably some perk that's like really obvious that we're all missing. But tenacity is a good one. That's a good shout. No Mither, oh, like it's their dedicated hard, but the thing with No Mither is like the whole benefit before was you could just pick yourself up whenever you wanted and it hit your blood pools. But now literally all it does is hide your blood pools, make you broken for the whole game, and your sounds are slightly quieter. Like that is really shit. Let's say if 4 Devour stacks you down 2 people and hook both, you get what happens to the second person on hook. See that was my original question, Grim, is like what happens when you get 5 tokens and someone's already on a hook? Does the person just automatically die? Or do you have to hook a new survivor for them to automatically die? Myers' add-ons? Myers' Tombstone and Peace need to be reworked, man. They're just unhealthy for the game. Killing someone by literally never downing them, like you literally just fucking look at them and then you get close and you grab and kill them, that is bullshit. Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, yeah, that's whatever. There's stupid stuff on both sides, but yeah, the the Tombstone add-ons are just broken. They should not be in the game. Pyramid Head, yeah, exactly. Because Pyramid Head has to actually like hook you and down you and stuff. Myers literally doesn't even have to down you; he just looks at you. He never actually has to chase you. So Myers needs a whole update. They need to make a lot of like Myers' like add-ons base kit to an extent, like his stock add-ons. Kind of make those base kit, and then make tier 3 a bigger threat. Modernize his movement speeds and terror radius so that he's actually consistent with other killers, and then go ahead and get rid of some of his really problematic add-ons. Yeah, he's super outdated. He's a super outdated killer. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't even mention Myers at all when it came to the Mori stuff. But hey, they'll get to it. I mean, so this has me intrigued, right? Because they're making an Unbreakable base kit. We must be pretty close to the solo queue improvements, right? We must be pretty close because they did that one dev update like 6 months ago or something, where they mentioned that they're looking into solo queue improvements and doing some changes for solo queue. This can't be it, right? Like, surely the solo queue improvements they were talking about weren't base kit BT and base kit Unbreakable, right? Surely those weren't the changes, right? Surely they're actually going to give us like status icons and stuff for like what you're doing. Like having a status indicator on everyone's character portrait as Survivor would be so nice. It would be so nice to just know, okay, my teammates are doing fuck all. Nice. like, like no one's on a gen. Great. Ape answer. Have more feature. I mean, yeah. So this is a slice of the pie, right? This is a little bit of a peek at what's coming next week. In the PTB, and this is all not going to be in the live update. This is literally like months away. So there's going to be different stuff in the PTB next week. I have some expectations. I definitely have some expectations for the PTB for just like general changes. For the mid chapter. I'm really hoping that the twins rework is in the mid chapter. I really hope that it's in there. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't say that means jack shit. Like, cause now Blight and Nurse, they do have a hard limit on how quickly they can slug people. Like everyone can't pick themselves up. You can't slug on mass as nurses easily. Same with Blight. That being said, changes do need to happen to Nurse and Blight anyway. Like, but this is still nice. I wonder how Pixel Bush is coping, bro. Hearing the bass get Unbreakable, he's probably fucking seething. He's like, oh my god. Oh, it must be a glitch. Oh my god. This update probably has him all fucked up, bro. He's not happy. Knockout on third seal. Oh my god, dies of that. Oh, you know what? That's a good point. Okay, so third seal slugging. I was it a pig game that I played? Someone redeemed a pig game. This was like probably a year ago at this point, I want to say. But there was this Jane that I slugged because I was going after someone else. I had hit everyone with third seal at that point, and she had a face mask on her, like a bear trap, I think. So that she couldn't see anyone else's auras, and she died. She died on the floor. I didn't even know where she was. But if I had played that match with this new system, she would have picked herself up. So that's cool to think about. That has a huge impact on the game. That has a huge impact on the game. So you, Oh, that's a big change. Rip Pixel, bro. That's probably on Twitter, right? Like if I just quickly peep the Twitter, bro, and I go to like his, he probably has that, right? I'm assuming. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're kind of right. I mean, this has nothing to do with Legion. It won't fuck up Legion. So to an extent, I'm pleased with that because I know that the best killer in the game is going to be okay. So I think that's all I kind of wanted to touch on. This is cool. I'm gonna go back to waiting patiently for my SSD and USB to arrive, and I'm gonna have to keep writing down passwords and apps that I need to install and things to get again. But yeah, I'm gonna be putting a fresh install of Windows on a new drive. So I'm basically gonna be gone for the whole day, just fucking around with Windows and installing everything. But this has honestly been a good read. So I'm gonna go ahead end it here. Thank you everybody for tuning in and talking about this update with me. And I will be back probably next week when this whole update goes live and everything. So yeah, I will see you all then. Have a great rest of your day.